With the 57th Super Bowl in the books, we're reviewing all of the scoring plays to add some counting and some addition strategies to our own playbooks. Are you ready?
Je suis prêt. Hut, hut, hey!
Hi everyone, do you know what happened on February 12th, 2023?
Oui, c'était le Superbowl LVII.
No, it wasn't Super Bowl LV.
Huh?
Those are Roman numerals.
What?
And each of those letters represents a different number. The L represents 50.
Second.
The V represents 5, and each of those I's represent 1. Now, you put the V's and the I's together, they're a little bit funny because the two I's come after the V, which means 2 after 5, which is 7, and you put it all together, and it's 57. Roman numerals are a lot of fun, but they can be a little confusing sometimes. That's a video for another time, I think, though. What's the Super Bowl? That's a great question. The Super Bowl is the championship game of the National Football League, or the NFL, and it is the most watched sporting event in the whole wide world, with over 208 million people tuning in to watch the game, to watch the halftime show, to watch the funny commercials.
C'est pourquoi le numéro du jour est 208 millions.
Oh, no, the number of the day is not 208 million. Don't worry, we are not going to count all the way to 208 million.
No?
That would be a little bit
Ce qui
crazy.
est fou, c'est d'appeler ça de football quand on n'utilise pas son pied ou un ballon. On devrait l'appeler œuf à mer.
You're right. You don't use your foot really very much at all, and it certainly doesn't even look like a ball, so it is kind of funny that we call it football. Numero suggests we should call it hand egg, because you use your hands, and it kind of looks like an egg. Now, American football,
Œuf à mer.
or American hand egg, can be quite complex, but one of the first things we need to learn is how the scoring works. It's not one score, 1 point. There's a couple of different ways that you can score points in
Œuf
football.
à mer.
Hand egg. The first is a touchdown. And that's when you get the ball all the way to the other end of the field into the other team's end zone. That's worth 6 points. After you score a touchdown, you have the opportunity to get an extra point by kicking the ball or egg through the uprights. So if you get the ball between those two giant poles, by kicking it, you get an extra point. If a team doesn't think that they're going to get it all the way to the end zone, what they might do is they'll get it so far up, and then they will try and kick it through those poles again. That's called a field goal, and it's worth 3 points. So as we watch all of the scoring plays from this year's Super Bowl, we're going to keep track of the score, and that means we're going to be adding 6s, we're going to be adding 1s, and we're going to be adding 3s. There might be some surprises along the way. You never know with football.
C'est excitant.
Let's go.
So this year's matchup is between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, and like any game, it starts at 0-0. So we're joining them at the field, and they are at the end zone, and everybody is jumping on top of each other, and it looks like he may have made it.
So the Eagles scored their first touchdown, which means they got 6 points. And what we didn't see was that they actually got their extra point, so they got 7. Now, if we use a 10 frame to help us with our addition, it'll look like this. 7 is a full row of 5 and 2 more. So we've got 3 empty spaces to fill out our 10. Let's keep watching.
And the Chiefs have the ball at around the 20-yard line. Looks like he's getting ready to throw it, and he throws it. What a rocket, and it's all the way down. And he catches it and brings it in for another touchdown. The Chiefs are on the board.
And now Kansas City are on the board. They got a touchdown and an extra point, so now the score is tied at 7-7. Let's keep going.
And the Eagles have it about midfield, and looks like this guy's going to get ready to throw too, not to be out down. And good gravy, he threw it all the way to grab his house, and he caught it for another touchdown.
So the Eagles scored another touchdown, and they got the extra point, so we're going to add 7 more to their score. Now we had 3 empty spaces, so we're going to take 3 and slide them up there to make our first 10, which leaves 4 behind. So we've got 10 and 4, which is 14. The score is 14-7 for the Eagles.
And the Eagles have it at about midfield, and great googly moogly, he just stole it from him. Can he do that? Well, I guess he just did, and he brought it in for another touchdown. And he's doing a fun dance and having a great time.
Ce qui s'est passé.
What just happened? One team had the ball, they dropped it, and then the other team picked it up and brought it in for a touchdown, and they got the extra point for another 7 points. So the same way we added 7 plus 7 a minute ago, we're going to add 7 plus 7 again, and we have the score at 14-14. It's tied game. This is really intense.
The Eagles are looking to score again, and he cuts right through the defensive line like my grade 2 teacher's scissors through construction paper. And they're all giving him a great pat on the back.
The Eagles just scored another touchdown. Can you believe it? And they got the extra point, which means we have to add 7 more to their score. Now we have 14. We have to add 7 more. What does that add up to? Not sure? Well, we can use our 10 frames and move some of those numbers up to fill out our second set of 10, which leaves 1 more behind. So we have 10, 20, and 1. The score is 21-14.
The Eagles have it teed up. It looks like he's going to kick. Yes, and in fact, you do use your foot every now and then in American hand egg.
They weren't going to make it all the way to the end zone, so instead they kicked a field goal, which is worth how many points? Do you remember? That's right, it's worth 3 points.
Oui, c'est toi.
And we have to add 3 more to the score that they already have, which is 21. So again, we can just add those 3 into the existing 10 frame, and we have 10, 20, we had 1 and 3 more makes 4. The score is now 24-14.
Speaking of number 24, looks like he's got to use the bathroom. And in the meantime, they score another touchdown and do a wonderful little dance. Ha-cha-cha.
I can't believe it. This is like watching a game of ping pong. The score keeps going back and forth, and the Chiefs get back on the board with another touchdown and another extra point for another 7 points. So we've got to add 7 to the 14 that they already have, and using the same strategy of taking numbers from one 10 frame and filling up the one above it, we're going to move those numbers up, and we got 10, 20, and 1 left over. So now the score is 24-21 as we go into halftime. I just love that song so much. It's so good. It's so beautiful.
Matt, le jeu n'est pas fini.
You're right. All right, we've got a game to get back to. So the score is 24-21, and the Eagles just kicked another field goal, which means we need to add 3 more to their score. It was 24 before. We have to add 3 more. You know what? I'm just going to use a counting on strategy for this one. 24, 25, 26, 27. It's 27-21. Let's keep going.
Kansas City looking to score again, and while number 19 was looking for his car keys, he found a ball and brought it in for another touchdown.
Now, the Eagles may have gotten a couple of field goals, but remember, those are only worth 3 points each. So now that the Chiefs have landed another touchdown and gotten their extra point, they've added another 7 to their score. So they had 21. We've got to add 7 more. So that adds up to, let's move those numbers up, and it becomes 28. So we almost have 3 full 10 frames filled up. We only need 2 more to get to 30. So just by a hair, the Kansas City Chiefs are in the lead. Let's keep watching. This is intense.
Kansas City ready to score again, and look who's back from the bathroom just in time to score another touchdown. Way to go, kid.
I can't believe it. They scored another touchdown and got the extra point. So that's another 7 points that we have to add to their 28. Now, when we add 7 to 28, I'm going to take 2 of them and slide them up and finish off that third 10 frame. So that's 30, and we have 5 left over. So the Chiefs' score is 35, and the Eagles are still at 27. It's still anyone's game.
Here we are back at the, and I have no idea what's going on here. TV folk, what's going on? Ah, it's a touchdown. Thank you.
So the Eagles just scored another touchdown, which means we're adding 6 more to their score. So if we have a look at the score now, we went from 27. Now 6 is 2 groups of 3, which is very convenient because I can take 3 and fill in that last 10 frame, which leaves 3 more left over. So the score is 35-33. And of course, if they go for the extra point,
But they're not going for the extra point.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
They're not going for the extra point.
Huh?
Remember when we said earlier that a team can get points a couple of different ways? If they score a touchdown, they get 6 points, but after the touchdown, you can kick the ball through the uprights for 1 extra point, or you can go for another little mini touchdown where you can throw the ball or run the ball into the other team's end zone for 2 points. It's called a 2-point conversion, and it's a lot harder to pull off than that field goal, and that's why you don't see it a lot. But in this instance, if they can get those 2 extra points, what will that mean for the score?
Ce serait la même chose.
It'll be tied. So they almost have to do it. Let's see if they can pull it off.
And here come the Eagles trying to tie the game. Everyone's trying to stop him, but he's more stubborn than my older sister when I ask her for a piece of chocolate. And he breaks through and gets the 2 points.
Great guacamole in the morning. They did it. The score is 35-35, and there's only seconds left in the game. Can you believe it? What an amazing game this has been. Numero is just losing her mind. She's so excited. And Bob is so excited too. Let's see what happens. Let's see who's going to win.
Great guacamole in the morning. I'm going to steal that one. Let's try it out. Great guacamole in the morning. Chiefs have won it with a field goal.
In the dying seconds of the game, the Chiefs kick a field goal for 3 more points. They had 35, which means if we add 3 more, they get 38. And now the final score is 38-35. Well, time for my favorite part of the game.
And there he is, the winning quarterback, the man of the hour, the most valuable Piccolo, looking for his opponent to wish him congratulations on such an awesome game. What a class act. What do you mean that's not what MVP stands for?
Lots of games have different ways of keeping score, and it's these differences that play a big part in a team's strategy. Like when the Eagles decided to go for those 2 extra points instead of just 1 and tied the game. That was such an exciting game. What's your favorite game? And how does the scoring work in that game? Well, with football season, hand egg season over, the playoffs are just around the corner for the Stanley Cup, so it's time for us to hit the ice. And in the meantime, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let us know what you thought about the game in the comments.